An absolute turkey. UK citizens way too intelligent to waste their hard-earned money on a book of lies by Sussex mouthpiece Omid Scobie. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the King YouTube channel. It is funny when you think about it, how Omid Scobie, Meghan and Harry's favorite cheerleader and mouthpiece, thought that he had a surefire success on his hands. He thought he was going to make a killing off this book by naming the royal racists in the family, by rehashing old gripes we've already heard from Meghan and Harry, and also by attacking Catherine in a really vicious way. But it looks like the citizens of the UK are way too smart to fall for his little tricks. In fact, they're not buying the book at all. The Guardian is a publication that is not known for really being pro-monarchy, but in this case, they're certainly choosing the royal family over Meghan and Harry's favorite mouthpiece, Scooby-Doo. They have published an article with the headline, "Royal Book at Center of Racism Row Barely Stirs a Ripple on London Streets. Few rush to buy the book despite hype over claims two royals discuss skin color of Prince Harry and Meghan's first child." I do love seeing people get their just desserts, and I think you do too. And it looks like karma is certainly coming for Scooby-Doo. I mean, he put a lot on the line. He revealed the names of the two royal racists, who probably didn't actually say anything racist at all. And look, I know that he's claiming that was an error and that somehow the Dutch translator put it in there. We don't believe that for 1 second. That was a publicity stunt orchestrated by him and Meghan. It was a massive risk, and presumably Scooby-Doo just assumed that it was going to make him sell enough copies for it to be worth it. But it looks like Scooby-Doo may have been markled. For centuries now, London's oldest bookstore, Hatchards on Piccadilly, has sold stories talking about the royal family, about royal scandals, dishing the royal dirt. And reportedly, the latest book in the royal genre, Endgame by Omid Scobie, was at the middle of a media frenzy for most of last week, but was barely causing a ripple among shoppers this weekend. It was not on prominent display at the 5-story bookstore, which has royal warrants. The single copy had been put aside on order. At the nearby Waterstones, about 14 copies were stacked on a table near the entrance, but there was limited interest there too. The critics have also completely panned it. The Evening Standard described it as an absolute turkey, and the Washington Post observed that the royalty spilled here isn't exactly hot. But because it brought up this story about whether or not two members of the royal family discussed what Archie's skin color might turn out to be before he was born, it got a bunch of front-page headlines, but that wasn't enough to make it actually sell well. The Guardian interviewed people who were out shopping for books. So at Hatchards, many people hadn't even heard of it, and most of the people who had no plans to buy it. One shopper they asked about the book, Tom Manson, said that it's a bunch of salacious nonsense. He said the royal family were in an impossible position over the row about allegations of remarks about the skin color of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's unborn son. He said they are in a no-win situation. They are damned if they do and damned if they don't. We will never know what people did or did not do, and can we be bothered? Joe Lancaster, a lawyer, said, "There are things going on that are much more important than who said what in a conversation in the royal family. It is sensationalism." And then James Gorley, 35, said that he was not going to buy the book. He felt like he had gotten more than enough information about it from media coverage and social media. He said you get enough snippets through social media to get the gist. And this is a man who says that he supported Harry and Meghan. He said, "I really like Prince Harry. I think he has done incredibly good work. They seem decent people. I think Meghan is genuine and she came into a tough environment." Okay, so if this guy, who is a Sussex sympathizer at least, refuses to buy it, then who on earth is going to spend their money on it? Interestingly enough, it sounds like even people who support Meghan and Harry are not supportive of the role they're playing in this whole racism row. People understand that questioning what an unborn child's skin color might turn out to be is not racist in the least. It's just normal behavior in a family. And that's why I don't understand why Harry and Meghan thought it was such a powerful thing to blackmail the royal family with, to name these two individuals. I mean, the fact is, King Charles wondering what his own grandson might look like when he's born is hardly racist. In fact, it shows that he cares about the unborn baby. It shows that he cares about his family. Another problem is that we've already talked about this, been there, done that. This racism allegation was first brought up in the Oprah Winfrey interview back in 2021. At this point, it should be considered settled, and it's not like the couple have not addressed this allegation since then. I mean, Harry made a statement when he was promoting his book Spare earlier this year that they never said the royal family was racist, that was just unconscious bias. So it's pretty clear to anybody who has been paying attention that they just rehashed this story because they're desperate. Scooby-Doo knew he didn't have anything interesting in that book. He knew this was it. Now, did Harry and Meghan sign off on this? I'm sure at least Meghan did. Harry, who knows? The Guardian also met a couple of people from Victoria, British Columbia, and they said they didn't know about the book, but they wanted to read it. They said, in Canada, we are very proud of Prince Harry and Meghan. They were on their way to Buckingham Palace, and they still said the row over the remarks involving racism or unconscious bias was ridiculous. So one of the people they interviewed is of Chinese and Danish heritage, and she said that her relatives had discussed what she was going to look like before she was born, but she didn't consider those remarks racist. She said they were curious, but you do have to be careful how people perceive things. Reportedly, The Observer had to look really hard to find even a single person who had read the book or was planning to. They found some person, Amy Lund, 62, from Salt Lake City, Utah. She had bought the book on Audible, and she was a fan. She said she had found it insightful, shedding new light on the relationship between King Charles and Prince William. She said, quote, "I am enjoying it very much." Her husband, James Lund, 62, said the media had been brutal in its coverage of Harry and Meghan. He said Meghan could have helped boost Britain's reputation around the world. Quote, "The British media have been unfair. She could have been a wonderful asset for the Commonwealth. We are astounded no one seems to have embraced that." Honestly, folks, it does say a lot that they had to search high and low to find even one couple who were interested in and supportive of this book. A bunch of BS that was written to make money for a failed journalist. In the lead up to the release of the book, we heard how this is going to be such a game changer for the royal family, that Scooby-Doo is revealing all kinds of information they don't want us to know. Well, the fact is, the book is a big dud. It contains nothing we didn't already know. Meghan and Harry have had no real contact with the royal family in quite some time, so the truth is they have no new tea to spill. All they have are the same old gripes that we've heard about a million times by now. We're tired of it. Scabies and Meghan have tried their best to hurt the royal family, but most people are saying they certainly didn't succeed in their mission. Even with the vile accusations in the book, it's not hurting King Charles or Princess Catherine or Prince William, and certainly not Queen Camilla either. Catherine Mayer, author of Charles, the Heart of a King, said that she didn't consider Endgame would have any immediate impact on the royal family. She said, "I don't think this moves the story on. People who believe there was racism will merely see this as confirmation. And people who think there was a put-up job by the Sussexes will see this as further evidence of their machinations." I predict, folks, this is going to be the final nail in the coffin of the relationship between Harry and Meghan and the rest of the royal family. And as far as Scooby-Doo's career goes, well, I hope he has a backup plan because nobody is going to ask him to write anything ever again. So I just want to know, Meghan and Scabies, and Harry for that matter, was it really worth it? And you, what do you think of this news? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section. If you enjoyed our video today, don't hesitate to like and share with anybody else who would appreciate it too. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.